Are we still in that Thanksgiving, post-Thanksgiving fog? Like,
Oh, that was just supposed to be for Thanksgiving.
I thought it was a whole week, Thursday
Mine's
to
season long.
Thursday. Season long, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
whole holiday month, man. Like
Oh
nonstop.
man.
Just an IV of wine hooked up to my bloodstream. We're
Oh,
good.
it literally just continues right into Christmas and New Year's. My liver
Ugh.
cries.
And then my birthday. It's never
Oh,
ending.
I'm not getting
Y-
anything.
You don't have to. It's okay. You've done plenty this year. But if people do want to, give me a little funding
Choose your
for New
words.
Year's Day. Yeah. Miami coming up to Gillette. I'm sure Patriot fans are gonna be selling their tickets for like $100, right?
Jesus. Is that real life?
Probably after they get their
No, I meant
asses
like they're
spanked.
coming then.
Oh yeah, New Year's Day, baby.
I
I'm
think
gonna
the
be going.
tippers need to go to a game.
I think we should.
For research.
We could get like a group deal, $50 a ticket.
That's not even close.
Right now they're 150.
I sat in the last row at Gillette Stadium 2016 and the tickets were still $111. The last row back against the wall.
Yeah, well, that was back when Brady was there. Now it's
Shea.
McCorkle. Gross.
Gorgeous name.
If you say so.
Welcome to Just the Tip, a fantasy football podcast with your tippers, Matt, Disfat.
These are just our tips, so take them easy, take them hard. It's up to you.
Ryan, the tagless Haynes,
Most bizarre Haynes brief that there's ever been.
and Matt, hi, or Regan.
Yeah, I hear you, and I definitely would take the shot on it because you'd be dumb not to.
Coming to you from the heart of New England. Get ready to take some tips.
Oh, Josh Allen. Oh, it's almost a pick. That's why he plays defense.
Mm-hmm. That's why I am not in the NFL.
Well.
I would have not even been close. Welcome in, takers, to Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast where we cover everything fantasy football related and movie related and holiday related and food
Love food.
and drinks. What are you drinking tonight, Regan?
I'm drinking a nice Sky vodka, a little bit of lemon juice. Lime juice and lime seltzer.
Okay. You said nice.
Get rid of
You said
some
nice and then Sky vodka. So.
I ran out of Tito's. Get off my back.
Gotcha. I gotcha. It's okay. I have plenty of vodka left over from the wedding if you want some.
I'm never going to say no.
I bet you won't. Welcome in, takers. We are down one tipper tonight, as you might have heard or seen.
It was a small tipper.
It was just a very small, so you're not missing much, right? It's totally fine. But somebody has a day off. Ryan, the tagless Haynes. And why does he have the day off, Regan?
I don't know. Is there something you could show me that would tell me?
I might give you a hint. You might want to be watching us on YouTube, Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast, to see. Aww, it's his birthday.
Your voice was perfect with that.
I know. I didn't have time to make a sound drop with it, but Ryan, the tagless Haynes, happy birthday. And what is he, 40?
Cheers, buddy.
It's like 40, 42. Cheers to you.
He acts like it. He's so sophisticated. He's a dad, and he actually acts like it. I don't.
Oh. You don't wear the white New Balances yet?
I got the white Adidas right now.
The white Adidas, close enough.
It's good. Sorry.
He's definitely a champion.
Brand. By far.
Absolutely. But we love you, Ryan. Hope you're enjoying your birthday. Hopefully you're enjoying it more than the New England Patriots tonight.
But
Getting spanked by the Buffalo Bills. So we are recording December 1st, 2022. Regan, week 13 is upon us.
Dude, what
and
happened?
It is the playoff push. This season has flown by.
This
I've
is
actually
faster
had
than last year.
Yeah, I've had a decent year, though. I hope you takers have been having a good time. I can tell by the downloads, though, that maybe some of you are out of the playoff matchups. So that sucks. That's why you got to do more leagues. You can't just do one or two.
It's all about averages.
You got to get a bunch of them. You know, you got to catch more fish if you put more hooks in the ocean. So that's what my old pappy used to say all the time. No, I'm just kidding. But enough of that. We're gonna get into a little bit of news, injury update, and stuff. Make sure you're following us. Just a tip, FFP, to keep up to date with that. Because things are ever changing, just like the seasons. Hasn't really snowed yet, though, so we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't happen. It is cold as balls, windy today. But tip-off question here, Regan. What do we got tonight?
Yeah, so this actually just came up in my own league. It was a new dynasty league just to start up, but I'm sure a lot of people are also having it. And the question is, with these really late bye weeks, these week 14 bye weeks, playoffs in some leagues are starting next week, and I don't think that's should happen. But
nope.
A lot of the reason why is because these championship games are usually 2 weeks sometimes in some of these leagues, which I think that's accurate. I think you guys, if you can do that, do it. A 2-week championship is not bad. You take so long to get there. But I guess the question is, Mac, do you get rid of that 2 weeks and you just push it back to the week 15 and play it out like normal? Are you playing into week 18? Like, how do you feel about the 2-week championship?
I think if you have week 15, at least nobody's on a bye. And since there's only the one seed that can be locked up, it's kind of, this is only our second season, right, of being able to see it this way.
Yeah.
Or was it our third season?
Second.
I can't remember. Second. So not much data on like how many teams are actually going for that number one seed. It can boil down to just 2 teams or multiple. Still, jury's still out. But I think bye weeks, especially week 14, it's a
Read them off, Mac.
Kind of players.
Read them off.
Yeah. So we got Atlanta Falcons. So you're gonna have some guys there that you might have been depending on, especially if Patterson's coming on. Chicago Bears, Justin Fields being the hero, and Montgomery. You got the Packers, the Colts, the Saints, and the Commanders. Like, there's definitely some level 2, some ones, and definitely some flex appeals with those. It's not fair. I don't like that. I like single week championships, but if you have the double, I've done it. You're better off going with at least the last week where you can have every team available, even though some of the starters might sit.
Right. I rather do that than have an unfortunate bye week or something like that. Like, that just doesn't work out for you. So good call. Fix your leagues, fellas. And then just the second. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, just one thing on that, since it's bye week 14 that we're talking about. If you are in the playoff hunt, like you're not locked up in a spot, and you have Jonathan Taylor, Alvin Kamara, even Brian Robinson, and you're like, I need to win out these next 2 weeks, and you still have a trade deadline. Like, we have one league that we're this weekend. I have another that is this weekend as well. I'm trading those guys. I need players that are going to play these next 2 weeks. So I'd rather give up Jonathan Taylor for the rest of the way just to have 2 players that I can play. Another starting running back and maybe a flex wide receiver 2, something to help me get by, because you can't afford to have a stud sit next week.
Yeah, and to go off of that, what I was going to say, Mac, I think obviously the playoffs, like you said, are we cutting some of these bench players, these handcuffs that we might have, these hopefuls that we have on our bench, and we were just like, I'm trying to think of one, like Curtis Samuel. I have him on one of my benches. Hasn't really done anything of late. Am I dropping him, grabbing that second defense, that second, that backup to my stud running back, or something even better, or whatever it may be? Are you starting to do that now, or is that something you do next week? I guess.
No, I'm already stashing defenses this
Same.
week. I have Kansas City as many leagues as I can because their playoff matchups are the best, even though they're not the best defense.
Right.
And then I do have Alexander Madison as a handcuff, and I'm holding on to him. But I'm dropping players like Paris Campbell. Like, yes, he's shown some flashes, but is he really going to win you? Are you really going to start him in the playoffs? Depend on him? No.
Matt, I needed one more catch, 6 yards.
Oh, no.
From Paris Campbell. One catch for 6 yards.
Oh, no.
He didn't get it. I lost in Ryan's league again. I can't win Yahoo. It's pathetic. Yeah. Should have just dropped out 5 years ago.
No, don't do that.
Keep donating.
You drafted a QB too early. That's the problem. You drafted Justin Herbert in what, the 6th, 7th round? No good.
Yeah.
Maybe even
I loved it.
I know. That's not your problem.
Yeah, if Aaron Jones became what I thought he was going to be, I would have been real good. But he was not as good.
Oh, no, I mean, end of season, you'll see him in the top 10 of running backs, but points per game, it's just way too many busts. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, definitely start looking ahead for the matchups, maybe a QB matchup, because this one, are you ready for this? This one's going to be fun.
Oh, geez.
Championship week. There are going to be people that are going to win their championships because they're going to start Jared Goff at home versus Chicago in week 17. It's going to be so much fun, and I'm hoping my bold prediction comes true where he becomes a season-end QB 15 or above. And he's at like 19 right now or something, so not totally out of it just yet.
I like it. I like it a lot. Wow. There is going to be a lot of plays, and I can't wait to go back and check those out. We've been on this one for a little bit, Mac. Why don't we jump into the, I don't know, the Max briefs?
Yeah, I mean, they're boxers. Definitely boxers,
let's be honest.
But tonight I'm freeballing it, so no drops or anything, but just real quick, the news for you, not much to update you on. Excuse me. Melvin Gordon to Kansas City. Does this matter, Regan?
Not to me.
Nope.
Not at all.
If you were looking at Isaiah Pacheco, he might take some goal line. Maybe he was fumbling on purpose in Denver just to get the hell out of there. He was ready to get out. I would have put it past him. I would have done the same thing. Now he's on a Super Bowl contender team in Kansas City. So watch him just go off and be a hero in the playoffs. But I'm not adding him or anything. Just something to monitor. And then college prep, not so much a player like Ryan Haynes does. I wouldn't be able to do him justice. So we got the playoffs expanding, Regan, in the 2024 season. Instead of 4 teams in the playoffs, it's going to be 12. Like, is there any point of ranking them anymore? Like, just make divisions and just standings, just like the NFL. It's going that way. We're gonna have to get into this more in the off season. We'll have Jake on, and we'll get more into college previews and more of the players, for dynasty players out there. But
sounds
just
ridiculous.
Face value, yeah. Too much? Is it too much? Maybe 8 teams would have been better. I thought they were going to go to 8 before they made it.
Makes it less competitive. You're gonna get some guys with some poor records sneaking in, just like we have in the NFL. Guys with less than 10 wins making it into the playoffs is just pathetic.
You're going to have the 12 seed face the 1 seed and just get destroyed, or whatever their format is. They're just going to get absolutely demolished. But it's money, and
get a lot more games out of it.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe it might be too much, though. We'll see. We'll have to dive into that deeper some other time. So that other time is yet to be determined, but make sure you are following us. Just a tip, a fantasy football podcast on YouTube. Like and subscribe and download and rate us, review us on Apple and Spotify. It'd be much appreciated. See what your Spotify Wrapped is. Our numbers have increased this year, according to Spotify. So 94%. Our tips have grown bigger by 94%, Regan. Isn't that amazing?
It's the temperature or something.
They're expanding that way.
Yeah.
We're the opposite. It gets colder, they get bigger. It's great. But what's not so great, though, is the Hurt Locker. God. So let's get into our injury update. Take a breath. There's a lot.
Alrighty, let's jump into this Hurt Locker. The bad news first, as usual. Mike Williams' ankle did not practice again today. He did practice off to the side, got worked out by the trainers and whatnot, but does not look like he's going to be participating this week again. Matthew Stafford, concussion. They have no idea. There's no timeline on him at all. This is pretty much back-to-back concussions. I'm very worried about this. I could see him sitting out the rest of the season. He's already lost Allen Robinson, Cooper Kupp, a various amount of guys. So I could see them kind of just kicking the season. Talk about a Super Bowl slump. Josh Jacobs limited today. I think this is trending in the right way, but I'm still just nervous about it. Michael Carter, ankle, did not practice again for the second straight day. Deebo Samuel, practiced and limited all week except for today. He was not out there for practice. So a little nervous about that. It was raining at practice. I don't know if that's something that he was just being an antsy about and didn't want to play in the rain. Who knows? Keep an eye out on that one. It looked like he was trending to play no problem, but the fact that he wasn't there today kind of makes me nervous. Cam Akers, illness, not practice. Darius Slayton, illness, did not practice. Cam Akers, you got to look out for that one. I got a little bit of a bold prediction later if he's not not able to play. There's a lot of illness going around these past couple of weeks within the NFL. I don't know if this is a COVID thing, if this is a stomach thing, or I don't know.
You can't say that C word. Now we got to censor that.
Oh, crap.
No,
just beat it out.
Okay. Just upload
it. Anyways, the last bad news, David Njoku, he was trending no problem, but did not practice again today with a knee injury. It's going to be a good game.
Not good.
I have him in my starting lineup, and tight ends are rough, so we really need to keep an eye on this one. We'll give you guys some guys later on that you guys might be able to fill in for him. So stay tuned to later on when we talk about some flex talk. Let's get into some good stuff. Jamar Chase, he might be coming back this week. It looks like it is a go. So I'm pretty excited about that one. Joe Mixon out last week with the concussion, the other C word. It looks like he's trending to be a go as well. Christian McCaffrey, this one was quite nervous. He came out today saying he said this out. I dodged a bullet with my knee injury. So it looks like he is good. He said he feels great. He will be playing at 100%, he said, this week. So great news for some of you guys holding your breath. You can breathe now. He is playing. Lamar Jackson, another one. This is, Mac, you have him in one league. I have him in another league. He kills me in the first half every single week. And in the second half, he comes out and he usually does a little bit to, get him close to 20 to a little bit over 20 points, which is great. But he now has a quad injury that I believe he got this in practice. He did practice in full today, but I'm still pretty nervous about this. I'm sure you can talk about this a little bit more later. Aaron Rodgers' thumb injury, maybe some lady parts hurting or something like that. I don't know. It's Aaron Rodgers. Practice is limited. The thumb injury is bad. I feel bad for that part, but he's also a little girl. Leonard Fournette, hip injury, practiced in full today after missing last week. This is they have White there, Fournette, who's going to be the starter. I think Fournette does shift back into the first role, but it might be a split carry there in general, 50-50 or close to it. Justin Fields' shoulder. This is a good one for you, Mac. Bet you felt great after getting this news. Full practice today. Feeling good. All right. Antonio Gibson, foot injury. I actually didn't know about this one till today. Looks like he hurt his foot. Offensive coordinator Scott Turner came out and said that we know what we're doing with him. He looks like he's going to be a full go this week. So that's great news for him if you're relying on him this late in the season. And then Juju Smith-Schuster, who I was very surprised played last week, is good to go. And then he got an illness as well. But he was a full practice participant today, so it looks like he is good to go this week as well. There was quite a few other ones. A lot of illness ones where it was just like a quick thing. A couple other guys that don't really need to answer. Treylon Burks was questionable, not limited. AJ Brown was limited. A couple other limited guys, but everybody should be playing. So that's the Hurt Locker. Please pay attention and pay attention to later on in this episode when we talk about our flex stocks, where we can talk about a couple guys that could fill in for some of these guys.
Cook like some burgers on there.
Oof. I can go for a burger.
It's been a while since I've had a burger.
I know.
Ever since the summer ended, Labor Day. Oof, that's not good.
My Charlie burgers. If anybody's local, Charlie Country Store. Oh my God.
It tastes, yeah, all right. I thought you were saying
85.
Charlie horse. I was like, oh, okay.
Charlie
That's
horse.
a
That's
throwback.
That's close.
That's a throwback. It is a lot of injuries, but it is also teams getting ready for the playoffs too, so they don't want to overwork their guys too much. McCaffrey though I am nervous for McCaffrey. Anytime there's an injury with him, you're just like, irritation in his knee, but it's 100% against Miami. Yeah, he should get you like 12
He
points.
said he was going full speed versus Miami. He was golden. Like another one, Derrick Henry just didn't practice today. Yep. I think that was just like a veteran day off. We're so late into the season, you have to just pay attention. Start paying attention Friday, Saturday. I hope you guys all listen to this episode on Friday. Friday, Saturday, and then right into Sunday, you guys need to be paying attention. You guys are in the championship. You're in the playoff hunt. This is the time. You're messing around earlier. You lost. You didn't care. Now's the time where it matters.
One thing, Josh Jacobs, though, I'm not worried. They said he was going to be limited after having over 300 yards. They're going to give him the week off. So I'm not worried about it.
That. I was like, did they just do this just because he was awesome?
They said that they're going to limit his workload. And people are picking up Zamir White. And I'm like, I don't get it. A lot of analysts that are paid professionals are, they are paid, but professionals is what I said the quotes on. They're saying pick up Zamir White. And I'm like, it's Abdullah, though, that's getting all the work when Josh Jacobs isn't there. So I don't get it. The run and the pass. So
I just had to put him in my starting lineup.
Abdullah?
Yeah. 5 weeks killed me. I have a 5-person bench. James Conner and I forget who my other running back is, but they're both on bye. I was like, wonderful.
Deonta Foreman.
It was. Yeah. Good call.
Yeah, I have him too. So I had to play Jeff Wilson versus San Fran, which I ain't worried. I ain't scared.
Oh, we'll get into that.
Miami's going to destroy you guys, Allen, if you're listening.
That's how you really feel.
All right, let us get into where are we? Think that's the Hurt Locker.
Part 2.
We are getting into part 2. We break these up in 3 spots, 3 separate episodes on audio, chapters in the YouTube description. If you want to skip ahead, if you already know the news, say it's Sunday morning, you just want to get to the starts and sits, that will be in part 3. But yeah, we're going to reflect a little bit on what we did last week in part 2. All right, takers, part 2 here. We are going to just reflect on last week. We made some pretty good calls. Ryan, thank God you're not here because your calls were god awful. Your tips, man, you gotta straighten those tips out. I don't know what's going on with you.
Oh, jeez, guy.
I don't know. They've been a little limp lately. I don't know what it is, but
Sponsored by Blue Chew.
Baby.
Sorry.
Taste of some of these big guys coming out hitting them. How about if you get a little taste of Landon Dickerson coming right down your throat?
So our guys that came out big this week for me, Garett Wilson, guys, wide receiver 5 on the week. About damn time. All we had to do was get rid of Zach Wilson. So I said he was a lock to start and a touchdown. He got 2. Yes, okay, one was a busted play. No big deal. It still counts. And I'm expecting some big pass volume against Minnesota, so we don't even have to talk to him in our part 3. Start Garett Wilson, unless Zach Wilson's back in, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, I had to think about it. I was like, Zach, yeah. All right.
And then Chris Olave.
Sitting.
I said to sit him. He only got 11 points. So, I mean, okay, you'll take 11 points in your flex. That's fine. But he was wide receiver 39 on the week. So you could have done better, a lot better at that position. So it was a little bit risque, but they couldn't get anything going, which is really strange because the Saints are not, they're pretty efficient in the passing game, surprisingly, with Andy Dalton. It doesn't make sense. But
this week they have Tampa.
They have Tampa. I'm actually going to start Chris Olave against Tampa.
Ooh.
I think maybe they're not going to be able to run too well. Ever since they lost their center, Kamara has been sucking. I'm actually going to sit Kamara, I think, and play. I'm going to play Travis Etienne and Jeff Wilson over Kamara because he's been killing me. I know. It's bold, but.
Dude, you should have made these your risky starts and sits.
I should have, but I don't really want to lead the takers down that road. This is just me being desperate. I don't know. It's probably stupid. I'll probably chicken out and put Kamara in anyway. I got nobody else though. Maybe Isaiah Pacheco, but I don't want to do that either. How did you do last week?
All right, so I said to sit Sky. I mean, I said to play Sky Moore. And I was somewhat right. He had 6 targets, 5 receptions, but he only had 36 yards. The call was decent. To be honest with you, though, I didn't think Juju was going to play. And what I really wanted for Sky Moore was to play in the slot. And that's what Juju played, and he had a great game again. So that's really what I was looking for. So if I had known that he was actually going to start, I probably would have faded the Sky Moore start in general. But you can't go wrong with 6 targets the past 2 weeks. Sky Moore, he does have some upside, but you're just waiting for that boom play for him.
If you're telling me a receiver from Patrick Mahomes is getting 5 receptions, I'm going to take my chances that one of them is going to be a touchdown. Like I'm like, guarantee me 5 receptions. Okay, I'll take that shot. You saw the trends, but yeah, like you said, when they put Juju in the slot, the production, it's not as much of a boom, unfortunately. Yeah. So, yeah, with Juju back, full go, are we sitting Sky Moore?
Yeah, he's got to be like if you're running like a 4 wide receiver league or something like that. He's a very risky play, and like we just said, you're looking for a boom play from him, if anything, because he's getting last week. The week before he had also 6 targets, 5 receptions, but he had 63 yards, so he had about 12 points or 11 points. It felt a lot nicer than the 6 this week. So, he's a very low end wide receiver 3, very low end.
Yeah, not dropping him. Him. Still want to see what happens, and if Juju goes back out, he also has his knee issue all season with the swelling and stuff. So
yeah. So dynasty keeper leagues, keep them. Next year it could be something. And then the other one, this one sucks. I feel bad. But I said to bench Darnell Mooney. I did, but I hope I didn't affect him at all because he left the game and was put on the IR soon after. Did not have a good game at all. It was rough. I just feel bad. But yeah, Darnell Mooney, good call, but I feel bad. So a speedy recovery to him. This team's definitely going to miss him. And I think, Mac, you have an idea of somebody that might be taking some targets from him in the next segment. So the segment after our next one. So 2 segments.
Part 3?
Part 3.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, and part 3. Yeah, I do. Ryan, I forget what you wrote, but it was pathetic, man. I don't know what your problem is. Get better.
He's going to pick him.
He is good at pick 'em. I sucked absolutely bad this year at pick 'em, so I even picked the Lions on Thanksgiving.
God.
They almost had it. They were so close.
I did pick the Patriots.
Yeah.
They almost had it.
They should have. Yeah, it's just their coaching staff. It's costing them wins. Told you guys, no more than 5 wins this season. They got 6. That was my bold prediction.
Dude, they're about to beat Buffalo right now.
They're not gonna beat Buffalo. They'll be lucky to win 2 more games. We'll see. But Regan, let's say we just get into our risque starts and sits instead of making the takers wait to the end of the part 3 episode. Let's get into them now. Let's whip these out.
All we do is sit around here and guess what a bunch of little pricks are going to go and do out there. Then we come back at half-time and we complain because they didn't do exactly what we thought they'd do.
I like it.
Over under, how many minutes of the World Cup have you watched? 5 minutes.
I got a haircut today and it was on in the barbershop, so I was like an hour.
Oh, wow. It takes an hour to cut your hair. Get out of here.
He talks to me a lot. I'm like, I have an hour lunch. The time doesn't add up. I need to go.
I went to one of my, you remember Holt, one of our old teammates, to his shop. Shout out to Holt. I was the whitest person there. And it took him almost 2 hours to cut my hair. We're watching some movie. He's texting the whole time. I'm just like, dude, I gotta go. I can't stay here for 2 hours.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Nah, 20 minutes. Get me in and out. All
All
right, give me a risque start.
So I got 2 of them. I'll give you one for right now. Kyren Williams for the Rams. I'm kind of just leaning this. So I talked about it earlier in the Heart Locker. Cam Akers does have an illness right now. I expect him to play fine, but who knows if this is going to be lingering or something like that. And the only reason why I even bring that to your attention is because Kyren Williams is already getting 55% of the snaps in the backfield. He already had the most touches last week, 38-16, who Cam Akers had. Cam Akers did have more yardage, but Kyren Williams is still getting the majority of the work. This team, yes, they are horrible, but work's work. Garbage time is garbage time. If you're looking for a start and get, like I say, 11 or a boom play puts them up at 15 or something like that, and you're looking pretty right now. So Kyren Williams, I think it might be it is a risky play.
It is, but it's against Seattle, who are not the best.
First the run.
And 20th in explosive run rate. And Kyren Williams did look a bit explosive. The problem is that O-line has been so hurt, damaged. But I also say if Perkins is playing a running quarterback threat, he might be able to break something on the RPO and stuff. So I don't hate it. Say you have a Jeff Wilson matchup against the 49ers and you have Deonta Foreman on bye. You have a running back 2 slot that you need to fill. I don't mind it.
I don't mind. This is the type of person. This is the problem that I had this week, Mac, and that was grabbing backups to try to fill in my second RB slot for buys or injuries. So I grabbed Knight from the Jets. I grabbed. I didn't get. Oh my God, what's the Benny Snell from Pittsburgh? And it sounds like they're not going to be the starters possibly. I think I would lean Kyren Williams in these matchups just because I know he's going to get the work. I do like Knight.
I do like Zonovan Knight. Yeah. I'm not starting him just yet. We will get into it probably next week or the week after. But remember how you and I were talking about Breece Hall's playoff schedule? Detroit, Jacksonville, and Seattle. That was awesome. we wanted Breece Hall. Now that he's gone down, they're giving Knight the chance.
Healthy scratch to James Robinson last week.
James Robinson's pissed, and now
Oh,
their
yeah.
conditional 6th-round pick, if he gets another 130, 150 rushing yards, it moves to a 5th-round pick. What if they're holding him out and they're just going to play Knight instead so they don't have to give up a 5th-round pick? It's dirty, but it's business. And I think Knight in that playoff matchups, like as an RB2, he might be a league winner for you. So we'll got to keep an eye on that. If he's available, he's available. I would stash him, but I would play Kyron against Seattle this week just to get that volume play, because I think they're going to pass. They're going to have to pass against Minnesota. That's their weakness. All right. My risque start is another running back, DeAndre Swift, guys. He's been disappointing lately, getting touchdown luck. If he wasn't getting those touchdowns, he'd have like 2 or 3 points. So, but he has been hurt. If you watch him play, he actually did much better at Thanksgiving. He looks more like himself. He's actually forcing some missed tackles. He was getting 23% of the target share out of all the receivers and running backs and tight ends. So everybody, all the pass catchers. Maybe that's how I should sum it up. So he's good running back 2, with possible running back 1 upside, man. If he gets 2 touchdowns, it's very possible, because isn't Jameson, Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
Isn't he dealing with something right now too? Or was that last week with sickness? No, he's good now. But
yeah, I think he's good. Yeah.
Over unders over 50. You want pieces in this game, and I'm totally fine. Full go with DeAndre Swift in my RB2 slot.
Yeah, the thing is with that one, like everyone's like, oh, Williams is the guy. He's getting all the touchdowns. If you look at all his touchdowns and where he's getting them from, I think, what does he have? Like 13 or something stupid?
He's the rushing touchdown leader, I believe. But yeah, they're all from the 1 yard line.
The one. Yeah. So what I'm saying is the odds of DeAndre Swift getting a catch at the 5 or a run at the 5 and running it in is pretty high, especially these past couple weeks. So he's had two touchdowns in 3 weeks. Almost had another one last week. He's getting more. He's getting about the same work, but it's better work. Is I guess is what it is. He's actually breaking tackles now, like you were saying. Like he's looking better, like exactly what you were saying. So I don't mind this. It's definitely risky, but at the same time, I see it. I see the possibility.
Yeah, I do.
I'm just gonna.
I was gonna say
my other risky start.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I was feeling antsy, and Kyron Williams didn't seem good enough for me, so I got so excited about this, and it got made fun of in Dynasty because I picked him up 3 weeks ago.
Nope.
Because I saw the writing on the wall. But that was Mike White of the New York Jets playing Minnesota this week. I find it very intriguing, this matchup. We just saw what Mac Jones did versus Minnesota. He was the leading passer, I believe. At least he was by the end of Sunday night. With 398 passing yards or something. So he was a leading passer there. He had a pretty good game. He scored in the 20s, high 20s, and that doesn't happen much. So we already see what Mike White does with this Jets offense. He actually has control of it. He's actually spraying the ball around. Even Elijah Moore got 2 catches. It was amazing. You already talked about Wilson. So the fact that they're playing a crappy secondary, again, we just saw them get smoked. I think Mike White has a great opportunity to, be a boom play again this week.
I agree. I was going to put him in some streamer category in our part 3, but yeah, I'm top 15 QB this week. I would project him as, so I don't mind playing him at all. Another high over-under game against Minnesota. So
let's talk about that, and I want to bring that up in Flex Talk, Mac. Let's talk about that and see who we'd play over him. I'll get right into the next one, the sit, and then we'll throw.
Hold on. Ryan wanted me to tell you to play his risque start. Noah Gray, backup tight end for Kansas City. He's just calling his shot.
Oh, actually, that's actually a great play.
Yeah.
He's been
behind Travis
killing it.
Kelce. Like, yeah,
Well, he gets the fourth
he's
touchdown.
involved.
Travis Kelce gets the first three.
Yeah. I mean, he gets like 1 or 2 catches. So yeah, good. Thanks, Brian, for going deep with that tip. Jesus. All right, who do you got for your set?
My sit, and I honestly, this one's just a comical one, but it's Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
He's coming back, guys. He's playing Houston, revenge game, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know if it's a revenge game. It's Houston. Should we have revenge on him? But either way, don't drink the Kool-Aid is what I'm saying right now. It's been about 2 years since he played in a real NFL game. You have Nick Chubb on your team. You're playing Houston, the worst rush defense in the NFL right now. Nick Chubb is going to have an absolute game. Kareem Hunt's going to have a good game. Deshaun Watson is going to have to do minimal to win this game, I think. So I'm not expecting him to have a crazy game.
Quick detour. Kareem Hunt, you think will have a good game, huh? He hasn't been producing like he usually does, but you think against a weak run defense against Houston?
Yeah, I think it's another thing. Deshaun Watson, he can also run the ball, and I think Kareem Hunt can kind of make get a little bit more, kind of like what you were saying with Kyron Williams. Once in a while, that the speedy running back always gets a little bit more boom plays with a rushing quarterback.
Yeah,
I'm worried about the receivers in this game.
Me too. I think I'm sitting Amari Cooper. I'm gonna get into it, but
cool. Okay.
Donovan Peoples-Jones, I don't mind still flexing, but Amari Cooper, I'm looking elsewhere. It's such an unknown. We might as well talk about it now. Deshaun Watson, don't care. You can start him. Go ahead, have fun. Revenge games never work out for the quarterback. They underperform every single time. Like you said, he hasn't played in 2 years. He doesn't get, he's a little sore all the time now because nobody wants to help him out with that. So he might be tight. I don't know why.
I was like, is this new news?
No. Yeah, it wasn't in your Hurt Locker.
I missed it in the Hurt Locker.
But then people are saying, he's second in points per game for quarterbacks behind Mahomes. Shut up. 2 years ago in the NFL, dude. It's ancient history by now. Things change so quickly. Wait and see. You've lasted this long, but say you need to absolutely win. I got some other options at quarterback that are better. So stick around.
Love it.
My risque start. Sit. I would start him over Deshaun Watson, but the other options I have is Lamar Jackson, guys. I know. Let's see. He had 48 points, guys. Yeah, QB7 on the year. That's great. He had 48 points. That was in week 3 versus New England. And since week 3, he's only had 2 games in the last 8. They had a bye week in there with over 20 points. He's been costing you the wins. He cost me the wins. I tried explaining that to Ryan a couple weeks ago before the Carolina game. I chickened out. I shrunk. I shriveled in the cold of having him as my risque sit. I'm not doing it this time. I know the wide receivers and Andrews have dropped touchdown passes and stuff. I get it. Last week he should have had a freaking 50-point game. But their offense is sluggish, and now they're facing Denver, who is one of the best defenses in the league. Never mind about their offense. I'm not trusting him versus this defense. Sorry, go ahead.
No, just talking about it, his weapons is Mark Andrews. I thought he was going to be good last week, and he just seemed slow. He just doesn't seem himself, and that
he's not.
It's rough. Robinson.
Oliver is the other tight end.
Oh, correct. Yeah, because Isaiah Likely, I don't think is participating. I left him out of the IR.
Yeah, he's not. Oliver's the other tight end who actually had a decent game, but you're not starting him. You're going to start Mark Andrews. Then DeMarcus Robinson, you said, boom game, and then, it's just their offense is sluggish. Hopefully Gus Edwards coming back soon will help him out. I'm not trusting Gus. I'm stashing him, but you're not starting him. I like how we branched out on these little detours with our risque starts and sits. We're not just talking about the one guy, but hey, little context for you. So yeah, I'm sitting Lamar Jackson pretty much over nearly everybody I think can be in the top 15.
So we're going to talk about Lamar Jackson and White. The next
we will. In part 3, we'll give you a little more context of who we're starting over these guys or benching for these guys. So, right?
We got it.
Ipso facto. Reverse that. And part 3 coming up. Part three takers, our sexy flexy segment. These are guys. We're not going to talk about the obvious ones. I mean, yes, a little bit on the quarterback. You can't really flex your quarterbacks unless it's super flex. And we're really just going off of 12-team standard formats, 3 wide receivers, a flex, tight end, running backs, and 2 running backs and 1 QB. PPR format is what we go off of. So it's 6-point passing touchdown. So if you have any specific start sit questions and you want us to give you some custom tips, hit us up. Just a tip, FFP, slide in our DMs, or you text us. You got our number. I'll display it here at the bottom. I'll display Ryan's number. Feel free to text or call him. Send him a happy birthday text. All right. So the bye weeks, Arizona and Carolina. So, oh my gosh, you're out without Sam Darnold, who did better.
Oh no,
did better than Russell Wilson. You're not playing Russell Wilson ever again this year. I vote that we never talk about him again.
I think his team says that as well. They shunned him
in some choice words. Was there a report that his birthday party, like not even half the team showed?
Yep.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
All right. You mentioned in the Hurt Locker, Justin Fields. He's a full participant in practice today.
Yep.
I'm starting him. Over Lamar Jackson. I picked him up. I'm probably starting him over Tua. Tua against the 49ers.
Oh yeah.
Here's my thinking. He's gonna run. Green Bay just let up over 100 yards in the first quarter to Jalen Hurts. What was it, 150 yards on the ground for him?
It's crazy.
Just rushing, and he's not that good of a passer, so that's what he's going to have to do. Without Mooney, though, to stretch the field, are we nervous that they're just going to play it safe with Justin Fields? Can he be a top 10 QB? Should we wait a week to see how he does? Well, next week he has his bye week, so...
that sucks if you hopefully your playoffs don't start yet. But yeah, so I that's my only thing I'm nervous about. Obviously, it was Mooney not playing and them not wanting to rush him. You saying possibly top 10, I definitely don't think that's a possibility. But when you're talking about 15, maybe a little bit higher, I think that's definitely a possibility. I'm literally just worried about it's his shoulder. When you're running, shoulders are definitely a thing you got to be cautious of.
Right.
So just he's an athlete. He can be smart and still get yardage. I'm not holding that against him. He's definitely going to get a crap load of yards. I would predict 100 rushing yards. He's just going to have one of those games. But is that going to be enough to get him up to QB 10? I don't think so.
All right. I would take those 100 rushing yards, but Montgomery can still rush it in from the goal line if they don't want him getting in that muddled junk on the goal line. That's what I'm nervous of, is AC joint and his non-throwing shoulder, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Tough decision. Would you start Lamar Jackson over Justin Fields then? It might be stupid.
I don't want to answer that one.
Put your tip on the line here, Regan.
I'm going to say Lamar Jackson.
Okay. I will take Justin Fields and write that bet down.
Ooh. Kind of Lamar Jackson quad injury, running quarterback with a quad kind of sucks.
They both full participants in practice today, so don't chicken out. All right, write it down. Guys, some streamers here for you. Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence. I think they're both top 12 plays. Their defenses are the best to go against as a QB and wide receiver matchup. So the bottom two, 31 and 32, respectively. So Trevor Lawrence, 68% rostered. So there's still a chance for you to grab him. Drop the Paris Campbell. Drop the Kadarius Toney. Hold on to Sky Moore for this quarter. I don't know. If you really need a quarterback play, drop him Saturday and hopefully you can get him back afterwards. But
smart. That's a very smart note right there, Mac.
Yeah, I'm going to hopefully, takers, look out for a recording to hit on Saturday or Sunday morning of guys to stash for next week to get ahead of these bye weeks. But we just don't have enough time to get into that right now. But Jared Goff, 39% rostered, so more of a chance to get him. I think he's a top 12 play this week, but would you play Jared Goff against one of the worst defenses in the league, a high over-under over, let's say, Aaron Rodgers versus Chicago? They're dealing with a bunch of he's dealing with a bunch of injuries.
Yes.
Derek Carr. He needs OT to make him a worthy start, but he's versus the Chargers. A shootout.
Oh, Chargers are horrible.
He's QB 11 and QB 10 the last 2 weeks, so I trash on Derek Carr a lot, but he's a clunker. I just sometimes he gets you to where you need to go. So,
oh man, I think I still have to rank Rodgers above Goff.
Really? Okay.
But it's like
it's a terrible defense too, Chicago, and he owns them. So I get it. I'm going for a boom play with Jared Goff, but you want a safer play? I guess I would go with Rodgers.
Yeah.
So we talked enough about Deshaun Watson.
Oh yeah,
I have him in the notes here. Mike White, though, you're starting him over all these guys here?
Oh, I love Mike White over Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence, I think. I think I'd still play Rodgers. Derek Carr, I'd play over him.
Over Mike White. Wow. All right. So you're pretty low on Trevor Lawrence and Goff, huh?
It's you know what it is. I love both of them, and I think they're safe plays this week. I think they're easily safe plays. You're going to get 18 points, 16 points from these guys. Without a doubt. It's these other guys that I'm looking. Rodgers, on average, he gets 20 fantasy points a week. I'm pretty sure he literally has 20 points the last 4 or 5 weeks. Derek Carr, they're starting to figure things out there. They're just throwing it to Devontae Parker. I'm not Devontae Parker. Oh my God. Devontae Adams. They're just peppering him. Not even. I don't know why that came in my head. But either way, they're actually throwing to him. And, he's going to get his points there. Derek Carr, now that I'm saying it, I kind of like Goff and Lawrence over Derek Carr, but it's going to be close.
You should, because the weakness for the Chargers is their run game. Josh Jacobs, is he too tired? You're starting him. If he's active, you're starting him. Don't get silly, but
all right.
I don't think he's a bad streamer. Rank all these guys that I'm starting.
Lawrence, White, Rodgers, and Carr.
Oh, geez, that's way too many. Goff, Lawrence, White, Rodgers is last. Rodgers, I'll start from bottom to top. Rodgers,
the worst,
Carr,
the best.
Yeah. Rodgers, Carr, White, Lawrence, and Jared Goff. I'm thinking going to Jared Goff's side over Trevor Lawrence here.
And I will go Rodgers, White, Goff, Lawrence, Carr.
So Carr's your first streamer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said it backwards.
No. I messed it up. That's my fault.
Well, we just messed up the takers.
Unorthodox play. Slow it down. Set the speed to half speed. Who's your first guy you're going with?
First guy, I think who will finish first out of this group is Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
The second best is White. Third, Jared Goff, Lawrence, and then Carr, I think would be the worst out of that group.
Okay. Interesting.
Sorry,
We'll
guys.
see how. But I really don't think you could go wrong with either one of these guys. But aim for the high over under total though. Sitting guy that should not be named. Tom Brady. He doesn't do well against New Orleans. Even if Lattimore is not out there, I don't think we can trust him. Do you?
I'm playing him. Are you playing Jared Goff or Lawrence?
I'm
over
playing
Tom Brady?
everybody. I'm playing everybody else that we just said. Even Tua. Tua, allegedly a good defense against San Fran, but they've been playing terrible QBs and Andy Dalton, Colt McCoy, this guy Justin Herbert. I guess he's okay. Matt Stafford, who's a shell of himself with a terrible offensive line. Since week 7, they're 24th in the passing yards per game. And that's where Waddle and Tyreek Hill are just going to open up the field. So I like Tua. The only problem is losing Armstead, his left tackle. That sucks because then he started getting destroyed. And Austin Jackson on the right side sucks as an offensive lineman. Nice guy, I'm sure. Just he can't protect Tua, so I am a little bit nervous. But yeah, I'd start Tua over Tom Brady.
All right, final question with the QBs. Would you start White over Tom Brady?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
yep.
Just checking for a friend.
And Tom Brady, nope, not doing it. Not trusting him.
I'm going to get into the running backs, guys. We're going to make this one quick. So what I did right here is I went to Fantasy Pros right here, and I got their rankings, their PPR rankings for Week 13. And I got the 20 to 30. So we obviously know you're going to start 2 running backs in your league. The average is 12 players. So the top 24 are going to be started. So this is kind of – I want you to pick, Mac. I'm going to tell you mine. But I want you to pick the 4 that are definite, and then the rest could just be flex. So I just want you to pick 4 out of these guys that are going to be, your low-end RB2s. And the rest we can kind of you can just mention some guys that interest you through flex. But I'm going to read them to you. Fantasy Pros, Jeff Wilson versus San Fran, Pacheco versus Cincy, Cordell Patterson versus Pittsburgh, Miles Sanders versus Tennessee. That's their next 4.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the guys that they think should be playing. I'm sorry, Zeke Elliott is 24. So that's the 5 guys, numbering,
Whatever. Yep, I gotcha.
So my ranking, though, out of that is I have Isaiah Pacheco first out of that. I have DeAndre Swift, who Mac checked on earlier, who's actually 25th ranked as my number 2. Cordell Patterson, big play Pat. I got him at number 3. Number 4, I got Jeff Wilson. And then number 5, we should do 5, Mac, just because I counted wrong. 5 was be Miles Sanders versus Tennessee. Tennessee, that's a tough matchup. So Miles Sanders for Philly is playing Tennessee. They're 3rd against for the run rushing yards allowed. Third best. So that is a tough matchup. But I think with everyone else running there, he's going to get something. You're hoping for a touchdown though.
I mean, Samaje Perine was able to expose him last week, but I think Jalen Hurts might steal some opportunities from him. So I kind of agree. You're still starting him, though, as your RB2, but just don't get too excited for him. Mm-hmm. Cordell Patterson versus Pittsburgh, they're coming on. He'd be my 4th out of this group. Oh, no, it's Jeff Wilson. Revenge game for Jeff Wilson against San Fran.
How do you feel about this? It's like the San Fran offense versus the San Fran offense, switched.
Mm-hmm.
The coordinator.
Yeah, Prentice versus the Jedi Master and Kyle Shanahan. I can't wait for this effing game. If you can't tell, I'm a Miami fan anyway. But this game, even if I wasn't, I'd be wanting pieces in it. I want to see what happens. Because Miami's defense is not good. So they're going to have to keep up. But last time they played Jimmy G, they benched him. They did so bad. So
it's a tough one.
So, yeah, all right. Jeff Wilson last on my list. Cordell Patterson, Miles Sanders, Pacheco, because he's getting the volume work and he's got to bust into the end zone. One of these points, then Zeke against Indy.
Yeah, so I just want to stop on Pacheco real quick. So Kansas City rookie running back. They're playing Cincinnati. They're allowing the 13th most rushing yards per running back per team. McKinnon is questionable at this time. Might not even play. What do they have? Jones?
Ronald Jones.
Ronald Jones is their other running back. I don't know what's going to go on there and who's going to be there. But if McKinnon doesn't play, Isaiah Pacheco, I think, that's why I ranked him number one, because there's a possibility he could just get all the work, play in Cincy. This is going to be a crazy passing game. Kansas City allows, I think, like the 9th most passing yards to wide receivers, something stupid like that. So it's going to be a crazy game, and I think they might try to slow it down with this run game with Pacheco. So
all right. I like it. Yeah, I went with Zeke as my number one out of this group just because I know
touchdowns.
I know what to expect out of him. So Kansas City, I can project him getting the work, especially with McKinnon out. But what if they just pass 4 touchdowns to Kelsey again? Like it's outrageous.
It might happen.
It could, hopefully. I hope it happens. Actually, no. I'm going against him in a pretty important league where I need to win. So never mind.
All right, let's just cut to the chase. Can you rank Jeff Wilson, Pacheco, Patterson, and Elliott for me?
Elliott first, Pacheco. Who else was it? Jeff Wilson. Who else?
And Patterson.
I'm gonna have to go Jeff Wilson if Raheem Mostert's out. I'm not sure if he's coming back to play this week with that knee stuff. I think he is. And then Patterson, Pittsburgh. They're just gonna slow down the game so much, and both teams, Pittsburgh and Atlanta. I just don't think there's gonna be enough opportunity.
Gross game.
So he'd be last on my list.
All right. Is there anybody? I'm not going to read it off to the takers, but is there anybody on this list that you see fitting to play as a flex?
Brian Robinson with the receiving touchdown. He's getting more involved with Washington. They're going to be running the ball. Antonio Gibson is dealing with that ankle injury. So against the Giants as well. It might be another heavy running game with all of these. Yeah, they're the 26th worst against the run. So, yeah, I like Brian Robinson this week as my RB2. I'd play Swift over him, Zeke over him, and then it'd probably be Brian Robinson over Pacheco.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good flex play.
Yeah, I don't mind it, especially in non-PPR.
And we talked about my risky play earlier was Kyron Williams, and he's coming in at 30 for Fantasy Pros versus Seattle, the 29th best rush defense. I like that as well. Definitely just a flex. So in this list, they also have yours, DeAndre Swift, at 25. So another nice flex play if you can go there. But that's what it is. You're playing your top 24, and then from there, honestly, Mac, I think you would probably agree most of the time, if not all the time, I'm trying to throw a wide receiver in my flex spot. There's just better opportunity after the top 24 running backs. This list is kind of good. You know, if you can get Zeke's coming in at 24 for them. If you can get Zeke in your flex, I'd be pumped. But Brian Robinson would be a great flex play, like you said.
Sorry, I was trying to find a drop for you. So
that's all right. I don't need them. I just dropped this puck. Never.
Kyron Williams.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
That's the one I was trying to get for you. Any more running backs we want to discuss?
No, we're good. It's getting late. Like we said earlier in this, we got to start dropping some of these other guys and picking up these studs that could be a great flex play or a great fill-in running back. So,
yep, I got you. Speaking of studs, wide receivers here. These are wide receivers you get to start in your flex, your wide receiver level. Let's go through the rookie wide receivers. So, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, they're must starts now. Christian Watson scoring the touchdowns going against Chicago. Or are you not trusting it? What do you?
No, until he stops getting touchdowns, I'm playing him.
Yeah. Was this 3 games in a row? with touchdowns. He has almost as many touchdowns as Russell Wilson has done this year in 3 games.
He has more picks.
Yeah, true. Garrett Wilson, still starting him. Treylon Burks, okay, he fell upon the fumble from Derrick Henry. So people are like, oh, well, he had that one fluke play with Tennessee going for a long bomb to get that first down at the end of the game. I'm like, well, they trust the rookie. They're trying to make plays for him. Going against Philly now. He has been getting targets 6, 8, and 6 times.
It's been nice.
Watson just destroyed Philly. He's another big target wide receiver. So is he flex appeal for you, or are you just pulling your sleeves up a little bit with him?
He really is. I'm a little nervous to play him this week versus Philly.
Mm-hmm.
But I was lucky enough to grab him one league. He was on the waiver wire. I actually drafted him, dropped him. Somebody else picked him up. That's just what I do. I drop guys way too early. But I'm so glad that I
Justin
have
Jefferson.
Oh, yeah, about that. Anyways,
we all did it. It's okay. I did it too.
I do like this though as a flex play in general. I'm trying to think of where he ranks. Treylon Burks is ranked 37. Darius Slayton, Cortland Sutton, Gabe Davis.
Oh,
who are you playing?
Well, I would have played Gabe Davis, but
so Cortland Sutton and Darius Slayton.
Yep, playing them above those guys.
Cool, I like it.
Chris Olave, other rookie wide receiver, 11 points versus Tampa Bay in week 2. He's wide receiver 15 on the year. His floor is 10 points. All right. Yeah, that's what his floor is, 10 points. He's got to get you that. It's a competitive divisional game. New Orleans is still in it because that division is god-awful. I don't know. They're 7th in passing touchdowns, the New Orleans offense. I don't get it. And total offense, they're in the top 25 with some metrics. So the problem is they're not scoring in the red zone too well. They're around the middle of the pack. Are you trusting Chris Olave over Treylon Burks?
Versus Tim. Yeah, I kind of want to, honestly. I like the floor better.
Okay. So if I'm projected to lose by 12 points, I think I'm throwing Treylon Burks in my flex over him.
Yep.
Just if I need a boom play, I'm going to hope that Treylon Burks, this is his breakout game with him and A.J. Brown, the guy that they traded away to get Treylon. So it's going to be fun. Jahan Dotson, you could drop him. Drake London, you can drop him as well. You were right.
What about yeah, go ahead.
You were right when Pitts went down, and I was like, Drake, he's got to get a lot of targets, and you're like, nope, he's got to get a lot of coverage, and they're not throwing to him, so you just can't trust him. But George Pickens, can he break out soon? He doesn't. Yes. He gets the nice catches, but are you gonna go with Pickens over Treylon Burks?
No, but in the long run, I really like Pickens in general. He gets targets. He's their guy.
He was my dark horse for Rookie of the Year before the season started. So he makes those stylish catches, man. So hopefully you can get in the end zone with him instead.
Yeah.
Make a better case for him. But I'm still benching him. I'm not dropping him, but Dotson and London, I'm dropping.
Yep.
All right.
In Dynasty? I mean, I'm sorry. In Keeper?
Oh, in Keeper, if I'm out of the playoffs, I'm holding on to London.
Right.
Just to see what kind of quarterback he gets next year. And Dotson as well. But in just regular redraft, they're not worth holding on to.
Cool.
Even in Keeper, if you're going into the playoffs and you don't need to drop them, that's the thing. You don't need to drop them. It's okay. Hold on to them. But say you need that second defense that you're looking into the playoffs, you can drop these guys. Or another QB that you're going to be playing the matchups during the playoffs. Go right ahead. Handful of vets I want to talk about. Brandon Ayuk, touchdown luck. Is that going to end with Miami? Debo dealing with some injury. If Debo's out, you're definitely playing them. But if they're both going, are you willing to flex Ayuk over those rookies?
Yes, I would flex him over the rookies, but he's low end in my flex in general.
Okay. Yeah, just not enough volume to him. All right, but he's targeting in the red zone. So let's see. Adam Thielen finally going off for you last week, and I would say cut him.
And I
And
benched
he had
him.
29 points or something. It actually cost me the week because I didn't play him. I lost by 5 points. Against the Jets, are you playing him?
No, not this sick. So no. I'm still not going to. This Jets defense is actually a lot better than people think. It's the only thing that keeps them in games.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a big Hawkinson game, so I don't really want to play Thielen. Zay Jones, they have Detroit. He was a big pickup on the week. I almost picked him up, but I'm like, I have Christian Kirk too, so I'm not going to play both of them. But who do you think does better? Christian Kirk bounce back or Zay Jones get another 10 receptions for 150 yards?
I think it kind of evens out. I think both these guys probably have a great week. I'm fine with flexing both of them. Christian Kirk, he's a low end wide receiver 2 anyways for me.
Yeah, he definitely is. But the volume's going to Zay Jones again. Only 1 touchdown on the season. He will make that 2 this week.
Ooh.
All right, we talked about Paris Campbell. I think he's a drop. I'm not looking to start him. DeAndre Carter, if Michael Williams is out, Chargers against the Raiders.
I probably play Thielen over him, but I don't mind him as a flex.
Mm-hmm.
He had a good week last week. The week before, though, it was kind of nonchalant, nothing special. So it's really a boom. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
up and down.
Yeah, he had his wide receiver 12 last week. So he's had 3 top 30 wide receiver finishes. So what about Allen Lazard for Green Bay against Chicago? If Aaron Rodgers is playing full go, that's his favorite target. It's going to be him or Randall Cobb. I think Watson. I think he's still going to, but he's going to go to one of those vets, Allen Lazard or Randall Cobb as well. So Lazard going through a bit of a slump right now. So I'd rather not play him. But
exactly.
Adam
you can play
Thielen,
him as a flex, but a low-end flex. I'd play Adam Thielen over him.
You would. Donovan Peoples-Jones with Watson back against Houston. Bad matchup against Houston. Their pass defense is just so great that all people can do is run on them. We benching him, or you starting Lazard?
Honestly, I would probably start Lazard over Donovan Peoples-Jones. I just don't know how that offense is actually going to react with Watson in there and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. All right, one more guy that you probably might have to flex because he's probably their number 1 target. Van Jefferson for the Rams versus Seattle.
I picked him up 2 weeks ago.
I have him in a couple dynasty leagues, and I might flex him, but you also have 2 flex spots. So he has 2 touchdowns in the last 3 games, but
it's not a lot of work.
No, only like 4 targets. So if your playoff hopes are slim right now and you're scraping the bottom of the barrel for Van Jefferson, I don't know what to tell you. He's be last on my list out of the guys we just listed, though. But you need a deep flex play. End zone or bust, man.
Yep, exactly.
That's what he is. Sit candidates for me is Deontay Johnson, Regan. I don't know why
started that last week.
People keep starting him. He has 0 touchdowns on the season, but they're like, oh, as soon as I bench him, he's going to score. We're in week 13. It ain't happening. If it does, okay, fine. But he hasn't finished better than wide receiver 40 since week 5. Rookie QB, it's not a good offense. It's just
they're going after Pickens.
Yeah, that's true. Pickens and Pat Freiermuth. Pat Freiermuth gets a lot of volume. Curtis Samuel, I think you talked about this in the last segment. He's wide receiver 22 on the season. But he's only had 1 top 15 finish since week 2.
Yeah.
It's bad. Drop him.
Yep.
Amari Cooper is a sick candidate for me. It's unpredictable with Watson back. I know he doesn't do good on the road. Houston lets up the run. So huge Chubb and Hunt game is what we're thinking. Play it safe and don't play Cooper, or is he's a top 10 wide receiver? You got to play him.
You know, I think the thing with this one is you probably have to play him just because of who you got. If you have somebody random, like I'd be honestly willing to possibly start Zay Jones over Amari Cooper.
Oh, I would. Absolutely.
But it's like, all right, who's your next guy that you had for a flex? Because Zay Jones is probably your flex guy. So that's where I'm just like, I'm going to play Amari Cooper.
I would play him over Van Jefferson. I'd play him over Donovan Peoples-Jones. I probably would play him over Allen Lazard. Brandon Cooks, absolutely. Brandon Cooks, would be on your team.
I like it.
Cortland Sutton. Yeah, I'm probably going to play Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Better ceiling. DeAndre Carter. Yeah. Adam Thielen. Oof.
Ooh, that's a close one. I think I'll play Thielen, though.
Yeah, I think I would too, just because the road splits with him.
The games you see the possibility of Amari Cooper having a breakout game, just because of it's Houston. It is what it is. I'm thinking, they get ahead. I don't know. I think Watson kind of just wants to go at them though, so I changed my mind. Amari Cooper over Thielen.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure he does, but they're definitely going to be getting up for this game. So, Houston, this might be their only other win on the season. We'll see. Any tight ends that are worth taking a shot on?
All right, yeah, let's just run through these ones really quick because tight ends are always the hardest to predict. And if you don't have it, honestly, if you don't have the number one, you're probably screwed because even Mark Andrews is struggling at number two. So It's been pretty pathetic. But Mac had a nice call on this one earlier too. He didn't say it, but I knew what he was going to say. But Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney is out. Mac, you think he's going to be a good play here? I think he definitely should get targets.
I'm struggling. Do I start him or Austin Hooper? Tennessee versus Philly. I think I'm going to go with Cole Kmet because Mooney's gone, and they got to throw it to somebody.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I think
3 catches last week on 6 targets, 27 yards. He's getting six targets. That's nice.
That's what it was. All you can ask for with the tight end position when you're streaming.
Right. So I'm fine with that. The next one, Tyler Conklin versus Minnesota. Hunter Henry should have had 2 touchdowns last week versus them. Tyler Conklin, I think he did. He did. He absolutely did. But I think Tyler Conklin has a good chance of getting in the red zone versus them. Another guy, Cole Kmet, they're pretty much 1-2 in this flex talk. Evan Ingram, this is a good one, Mac. This is your streamer.
Yeah. So he's been a little lackluster, but under the radar, Detroit is one of the worst teams against the tight end position, and they're going to be heavily focused on Zay Jones and Christian Kirk now, especially Zay Jones after the big game. So look for a sneaky start with Evan Ingram. If you're just taking a shot at a tight end, he's my candidate.
I like it. Another one I wanted to throw in there that it didn't really pan out last week because he dropped a touchdown, but it's Juwan Johnson for New Orleans versus Tampa Bay. He really is like a boom bust play, but the past couple of weeks he has been quite good. Top 8 4 times in the past 8 games, I think. But of late, it's really a boom bust play. But the Bucs have allowed the 10th most receiving yards per game and the 8th most fantasy points per game to tight ends. I think he is a good play here. Like I said, though, it's really like a boom bust. So if you're in a tight spot, if you have a bye to fill in, I'm playing. If you had Ertz and you've been trying to run streamers and you don't want to play McBride, it's a bye week. So Juwan Johnson, I would play.
He's a number 10 tight end on the year.
It's wild.
We got the leader, Travis Kelce, with 238 points.
Oh.
The number 10 with 95 points is Juwan Johnson. So
oh, God.
that's what you got.
wild. And then a sit candidate. I think.
I'm sorry, but you just mentioned Zach Ertz.
Yep.
When did he get hurt? Let me bring this up. So he got hurt week 10. It's week 13 now. He's on a bye, and the Arizona anyway.
So yeah, everyone else has already had a bye.
He's still the number 4 tight end on the year.
That's so pathetic.
That's the tight end position. Next year we need to revisit the tight end position. Do we just get rid of it and make it an extra flex? Because this is ridiculous.
It's kind of a good call.
Yep.
I like it. And then the last one, Mac, a sit one. I think you might disagree, but I'm thinking Tyler Higbee. Even though he's playing Seattle, I think he's a sit. He's not getting targets. It's scary to me. It really is.
Oh, it absolutely is. So I guess he would be last on my streaming list, but he had 9 points last week. Oh no.
Sorry. He did not register a target.
Yeah, he did not register a target. That's why they don't even put dashes. I'm sorry. That was against New Orleans.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Kansas City, but Seattle's a good matchup, and Las Vegas the next week.
That's one of those ones where, he could be a good flex, but I'm nervous because I just don't see the work.
Good streamer.
So,
yeah.
Right.
I don't.
Good luck.
I get it. Yeah, I guess I would play every other.
I'm playing the other guys.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to ask.
Ugh, that sucks. I don't like that. Is Taysom Hill worth your time against?
Oh my God,
Tampa Bay.
The thing is, like, if you are going to lose by 50, I want to throw Taysom Hill in because he just has the possibility for a 50-point day, but it's not going to happen. Don't start him. Don't start him unless you're just struggle bussing your way in and you're going to lose, supposedly, statistically.
I get it. All right, defenses real quick. Just a couple. Seattle against the Rams. We just trashed on the Rams the whole time. You could stream that defense. They are 31% rostered. Cleveland against Houston. Houston is the worst. Cleveland's defense is not that great either. But I'm taking the matchup. I'm going to play them. And then Denver Broncos defense is 31% rostered.
Surprisingly.
At
they're
Baltimore.
Still pretty good.
They're still pretty good. If you expect like a low scoring game, maybe a turnover, I wouldn't mind streaming the Broncos. It's not that best week for defenses, but those would be my 3 that I would try to pick up and play if I needed.
I like it. And some of those will still be out there. People are kind of locked in with their defenses, and people always forget about them about this time. So kickers and defenses always look for their drops and stuff like that. People are dumb at this time trying to outthink everyone else. You will find people every week. And no one ever scrolls down to the kickers and defenses. And they could, a kicker can get you 15 points in a week. A defense can get 20, Pay attention to that stuff. That's a necessity.
The bare necessity. Let's go through the matchup, shall we?
We shall.
All right, Pittsburgh. Who's your pick tonight?
Buffalo.
Buffalo, what are they winning by? 20 now?
24-7.
24-7. Wow, that's way too low for Buffalo. What are you doing? Pittsburgh at Atlanta.
Was only like 3 points, wasn't it?
Yeah, it moved from like 6 to 3.
Dumbasses.
Ridiculous. Pittsburgh at Atlanta. I'm going Pittsburgh.
I pick Pittsburgh.
Denver at Baltimore. Going Baltimore.
Yep.
Green Bay at Chicago.
Green Bay,
yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Well, I was going to say, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, I think Chicago will win.
Shit, I actually picked Atlanta versus Pittsburgh.
Ooh.
Kind of
still got time to change it. Jacksonville at Detroit. I'm taking Detroit. They should have.
Oh, I picked
Buffalo.
Jacksonville.
I'm taking Detroit. They should have beat Buffalo last week.
Oh fuck, I did pick Detroit. I messed up.
Still change it, bro.
No, I
Cleveland,
can't.
Cleveland at Houston.
It's a question.
Yeah, Cleveland. Jets at Minnesota. This one is going to be the game breaker. I think it's a toss up. I think Minnesota's phony, man.
Oh, they are. They are. But are the Jets that good now?
No, they're not.
Also
Yeah, I'll go with Minnesota and let Minnesota choke in the playoffs. Be one and done. Washington at Giants. I think I gotta go Washington. Giants are in a funk right now.
They really are, though. You are right.
It's huge divisional pivot. What is third place in the division for this game right here? Yeah.
I actually kind of like your concept, though. You know what I'm also worried about, too, with the Giants with Slayton being ill or whatever. I hope there's no bug going around in that locker room.
Tennessee at Philly.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
I'm calling it upset Tennessee.
Dude, Tennessee's defense is pretty good.
They are. In Philadelphia, I think they're showing some exposure with their run defense, and Derrick Henry can run all over them. Seattle at the Rams. Seattle.
Yep.
Miami at San Fran. Miami. The Padawan becomes the master.
You pick Miami?
Picking Miami.
Seattle. Just to spite
San Fran. Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
Chargers at Vegas.
Jeez, that's a rough one.
Will the Vegas get lucky again?
Nope. Chargers.
All right, Chargers. I'm never picking Carr.
No, you can't. It's illegal.
Game of the week: Kansas City at Cincinnati. Over under 53 points. Get pieces in this game.
Sounds about right. Kansas City.
Kansas City favored by 2. I'm gonna go Cincy.
Wow.
Yep. Going Cincy.
Under?
No, I'm gonna take the
Just
over.
kidding.
It's gonna be like 68 points.
Oh God.
Sunday night game. Can't wait for this. Indy at Dallas.
Do we have to watch it?
Nope, you do not. I am going to bed. I am not going to stay and watch
Dallas,
it.
of course, though.
10.5 point favorites. And then Monday night, New Orleans at Tampa Bay.
Man, I'm still going to go Tampa Bay, but it's going to be.
I know. Don't like it either, but I'm going Tampa Bay as well.
Oh, man. I don't like the matchups this week. It's gross. Or the games.
It's very either lopsided or it's just to be like a gross toss-up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck, takers. And before we get to our leftovers, like we've always said, just a tip, FFP, if you got any specific start-sit questions or pick-em questions, don't ask me. I suck at it. So do the opposite. You'll probably have a better shot. Let me get this ready. Play your damn music. You have anything for the leftovers? I think you can guess what mine are going to be.
The only one I want to say is because I obviously before we started recording, I put on the Pats game so I could kind of watch it. I'm sure you guys saw my eyes go like, fuck, they're losing several times. But they canceled the Fox Station around here. Mm-hmm. You're not allowed to watch it. So even if you're local, you cannot watch it. It has to be on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
That's absolutely asinine. That's the first time I've ever used that statement. That
asinine, yeah,
yeah.
It's stupid. You can either watch it on Amazon or you can watch it on Twitch. It's annoying.
I already give you enough money, dude. Let me watch my football.
At least they're losing badly, so you can just go to bed right after we're done recording.
I will watch every minute, unless my wife yells at me. What? I'm just out of the basement.
Hey, I can't hear you. Got headphones
I'm not
on
done yet. Mac talks a lot.
We're just talking to a blank screen. My leftovers. Huge trailer drops today, man.
Oh, Transformers?
Dude, I was going to get to that.
Oh, you go.
Indiana Jones. Okay.
I didn't see that one.
Cool. Yeah, we'll see.
Actors?
Huh? It's
Who's the
Harrison Ford.
actor?
It's Harrison
Still?
Ford again. Yeah, but they like digitally make him look younger, like it's flashbacks and stuff. Like,
Goddamn.
oh, it looks. Oh, dude, like they did a good job. You can barely tell. But yeah, new Guardians. Finally, Adam Warlock is going to be joining the MCU.
Thank
So,
God. That was
yeah.
teased way too long ago.
Yeah, I know. It looks good though. And then yeah, the Transformers. Okay. Remember
Dude!
that anime show, Beast Wars?
Beast Wars. Dude, you
Is
remember that?
Oh my god, yeah.
It was like the first like 3D cartoon.
Yeah, it was
It
great.
was wild.
My favorite was the Velociraptor, but I didn't see him in this trailer at all. But I know he's a
the
bad
bad
Transformer at first, but then they convert him. So
that's right.
will they do that in this? The Cheeto is cool.
Yeah.
Michael's was the Rhino or the Rat. I can't remember. The Rat was
So,
funny.
it's horny and sly. What a loser.
Ryan, let me text him. What was his favorite? His was a flamingo. What the hell are you talking about? I think he's watching a different video than we are.
What a
Weirdo.
loser.
Ay.
Gotta love
Happy
it.
birthday, Ryan. Love you. Miss you.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Have a good night, takers. Good luck this week. Get into those playoffs, baby.
Oh, good luck, because I need it.
Get it in like we get it in with Ryan's mom.
Just the tip.